This video is going to be about installing an 8 3/4 rear end into a Plymouth Duster. It's replacing an 8 1/4. A lot of the same principles will be same and true if you're replacing a 7 1/4 with one, except for a couple of things. Drive shaft length will be have to be dealt with, and your backing plates won't be able to be used. A couple other things: the B body is just a hair wider. 65 to 70 is the years you're looking for. 71s, they get too wide. Your back spacing and your wheel make a difference. Your tire height, these are 15-inch 235/60. You can bend the lip up here in a little bit to give you more room so you don't scrape your tires. You can raise the rear end of the car up. There's lots of ways to deal with that. But anyways, like all my videos, this is not an absolute nut for nut, bolt for bolt. It gives you the good general idea to somebody who's already used to turning their own wrenches. The nice thing about the 8 1/4 is I can use the backing plates and my brakes. So the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing to do this, I just drop my bottom pan, and I gotta take this off to get in here to slide my axles out, and I'll show you what I do there real quick. Slide the axles out, and I'm gonna take off the backing plates, and with the brakes already assembled, and I'll just put my 8 3/4 housing in. Okay, removing the axles on an 8 1/4 Mopar rear end. It's really as simple as this. Take off the bolts that hold the back differential cover on. Okay, you got this bolt that goes into here, goes into this. Hold the camera right. This here goes into here. Take out this bolt. Push this out. Kind of want to fall out. Okay. As you can see, it's notched and got the hole there for the bolt to go through, so you have to put it back in accordingly. Alright, now there's 2 C-clips in here, and all I'm going to do is push the axles in. The C-clips will fall out, and I can pull the axles right back out carefully so you don't damage the seals and the bearings. If I push this in, you should hear that C-clip fall out. Hear it? Fell out. Now I can pull this all the way out. Nothing stopping it. Okay? And I'm going to reuse these backing plates and all the brakes, so all that will fit right on there. It's got to loosen up these bolts here. It's 5 bolts that go around here. Take these off, and I have all my brakes and brake lines. And the demonstration of the C-clip when it's in there. That's the C-clip. This is where it goes. So if you wanted to slide these back in, you just slide them back in the same way. Put the C-clip in and push it back in so the C-clip's up against it. Same way on the other side, then you put that pin back in that I showed you, and the bolt that holds the pin in. That's really all there is to it. Alright, you can see I took off the bolts, and there's my backing plate with all my brake system, all the brake lines, everything hooked up. So when I put my 8 3/4 in, I just bring this down over that, and I already got my brakes and everything all set up. So, pretty easy. And you got your 2 U-bolts per side. You just hit those with PB Blaster, let them soak for, it's nice if you can let them soak for a day or 2. But anyways, loosen up those 4 nuts, take them off, and your housing lifts right out of there. Of course, you gotta take your front drive shaft off. 4 little bolts hold your drive shaft on. If you're gonna put a B-body rear end in a Duster or a Dart, you'll want a 65 to 70 years. 71, they get a lot wider. So, but I was just going to show you, you got a couple of options here. You could drill another hole in the pad right next to it, or you can oval out the one original hole 1/4 inch. The perches are real close to an A-body, but they're just a little bit wider, like 1 inch total. So you could go move this in a little bit, or you can oval this out like 1/4. Then you have to move the leaves out another. You know, pull the leaf spring out 1/4 inch per side, which isn't much. Some people worry about how that'll wear on the bushings or something, but I've done it and not had a problem. But anyways, that's just part of the process. Other than that, you'll have to cut the leaf purchase out, have new ones welded in, but man, they're so close that even ovaling this out 1/4 of an inch each way, and then just take your leaves and move them out 1/4 of an inch. 8 3/4 is in. Right there's the, see it's in there. I used the 8 1/4 in shock mount plates. They're the same. If you had a 7 1/4 in, you would have to either drill or get new drive shaft work perfectly. So I didn't have to do anything there, going from 8 1/4 to 8 3/4.